Have you gone on yet?
You after us?
Can't you see the anxiety over there?
He's getting loosened up.
Hi everybody, this is Sean Sullivan from Washington Wine Report, and I'm here with Don and Judy from Hard Row to Hoe. So they're Lake Chelan area winery. Lake Chelan is the newest AVA in the Washington area, and I'm going to have them talk a little bit about the winery. So why don't we start out talking a little bit about the name of the winery. So you guys originally had another name,
about a year and a half ago. I'll let Don tell the story of the rebrand.
We rebranded about a year and a half ago. We decided we had to do something to change, make the name more memorable. And the best way to do that is to have a story associated with the name so people could remember the name. In our case, we looked for some local history to name it after. And that involved the fact that up lake on Chelan, about 35 miles at a location called Lucerne, up in the mountains above that, there used to be a large copper mine. In the 1930s, they had about 450 miners employed up there. Now with that, about a half a mile further up the lake was an old hotel called the Edgemont Lodge. Well, in the late 1930s, when construction at Grand Coulee Dam was coming to completion and slowing down there, the ladies who'd been making a living up there decided to relocate to the Edgemont Lodge and offer their professional services to the miners. Well, the miners were quite interested in supporting the new business venture, but they didn't have any way to Point Lovely where the lodge was located. So a man from Manson went up and started a rowboat taxi shuttle ferrying the miners back and forth, hence the Hard Row to Hoe, which is our new name. So even though it's spelled H-O-E, it has two meanings, one being a farming term and one meaning the historical side of things.
Yeah, and if you look at the labels actually have an image of a person rowing
Correct.
As well.
The label actually shows the whole process leaving from Lucerne in Eves is in there, going to the brothel where the ladies are waiting, nice sunny calm seas.
And the tasting room itself, which is a really beautiful tasting room in a gorgeous area, I have to say, also has a nice theme with some interesting wallpaper and some kind of bordello.
Tasting room, so it looks like a bordello.
Yeah, so if you go to the tasting room, make sure to look very closely at the wallpaper. I think you'll be.
Some interesting wallpaper.
I think you'll be surprised. So Judy, you guys are doing some interesting sort of unusual varietal bottlings for Washington with the Primitivo, being one in particular, I think.
Right.
But you want to talk a little bit about that?
Right. Well, one of the advantages of being a small winery is that we don't have to contract far in advance to do for our grapes, and we have the luxury and the freedom to be able to do really whatever we want, whatever I want, because I'm the winemaker. So what we do is, usually late in the season, we go out to the vineyards and actually taste the grape on the vine and see what's tasting good out there. And based on how the grapes are ripening and what's tasting good, we'll decide what to make. We have some wines that we do every year that are just our standards. We always do a Cab Franc, we always do a Syrah. But for instance, this year we're doing Petit Verdot, only because we were able to source the Petit Verdot from a great vineyard. It's actually from Benton City, from Lonesome Spring Ranch.
Okay.
And similar with Primitivo. The reason we're doing Primitivo actually is because we lost our Zinfandel crop in 2007, and we lost it to bunch rot. Zinfandel is really hard to grow, and if you get any moisture in October, Zinfandel is prone to bunch rot. So 2007, about a week before we were going to pick, it rained, and it took the whole crop. It was gone within 4 days. Luckily, just down the road was another vineyard that had Primitivo that year, unaffected by the rain. So we were able to jump on that very easily, and we made Primitivo that year instead of Zinfandel, and we've been making it ever since.
Yeah, and those are, as people may know, those are kind of relatives of each other, so it's kind of interesting.
Very similar ones, right?
Yeah, so, and you've got a Barbera as well, and also I know you had a Pinot Noir that's in the barrel.
That's in the barrel.
I thought was a very exciting. Pinot is a grape that's really struggled in Washington, I believe, in terms of getting the kind of right balance of ripeness without getting overripe.
Right.
But I thought that was a pretty promising look.
I think at Lake Chelan, yeah, because we've got a little cooler climate than elsewhere. I think if Pinot Noir is going to do well anywhere, it'll do well in Lake Chelan. We also do a Roussanne, which is another kind of unusual. We do a straight Roussanne. Very popular. Yeah, we love doing it.
So, so one of the things that I like about what you guys have done is you guys have had a nice online presence and have done a number of different things. So I mean that's obviously something that's new for a lot of wineries in terms of trying to get out into the social media space. But I'd be interested to hear a little bit about what you guys have been doing and what your kind of feeling is about it, and what the where you see it kind of fitting into your winery over there.
Well, last year, just about a year ago actually, I started doing Facebook. I wasn't into Twitter so much at that time. I was really just into Facebook. I started getting involved and set up a fan page for a winery, set up my own. And I made no bones about who I was, in terms of the description. Right from the beginning, I always said, we own Hard Road to Hoe, even on my personal page. And went out and tried to connect with as many people as I could in the wine industry, and soliciting friends that way and starting to build a community. Because I felt we needed to know what was happening out there, as well as that was a way we could promote and put our own name out there without obviously spending a lot of money. And for brand recognition is a great success. Because even today we've had a number of people stop by and say, "Oh, I'm your friend on Facebook." And so it's been really good for building the community that way. And I really think that most wineries, if they're not do it. And then from there we ended up getting into Twitter, and we've been gradually building more and more there, again building a community within that. And I think it's easier to develop the relationship under Facebook. It's easier to get quick information out on the Twitter page. So they both have a purpose there. But that was really a great success. In a way, it took people from all around the country could participate in it on almost an instantaneous basis and share their thoughts.
Yeah, so some people may know, so we did a live sort of Twitter tasting on Washington Merlot last Thursday, where we had literally hundreds and hundreds of people all around the country, and a few even in different countries doing a tasting of Washington Merlot. That was really kind of a fun thing to watch, and you can look up the Twitter stream on that. It's pound WA Merlot. Yeah, I thought that was a really fun.
It was a great event, I thought. I really think Josh did a great job there, organizing it, arranging it, and then getting participation, because it took time to get people to buy into it, I think. I noticed at the beginning it was kind of slow, and then it started to snowball.
Always takes
and all of a sudden, towards the end, now we're up to 80 wineries participating.
Yeah. So you feel like in terms of the branding overall, though, it's using the Facebook and using Twitter has been beneficial.
Yes, I think it's been huge.
There's a different level of connection that you make with our customers on Facebook. We get so many people that come into the winery, they'll take pictures while they're there, and then they post them on the Facebook page, and that just builds that connection with people you wouldn't have had ordinarily. And also the comments, we read everything. So if you go on our Facebook page, please post something, we'll read it.
And if it weren't for Facebook, John wouldn't have known that my mother was in town last week.
Right,
exactly.
And he has a messy apartment.
And my apartment isn't too clean, Well, thank you both very much. And one more thing I'll add about Hard Row is it's one of the few wineries where you can get both wine and underwear under the same roof. So thanks very much, and
thank you, Sean.
Both
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks.
Take care.